Welcome to my home. My name is Lisa, and this is Mysterious Mystical Moments. Now, you may wonder, hey, I'm on Sundays. Yes, I am. For September and October, I probably will be on Sundays because I have so much to tell you, and it's such an exciting month. Now, this month, I am telling you about haunted places that you can actually go stay in or visit. Now, these places are going to be by state, and as you know, last Fair Friday, I did my home state of Iowa, and I'm going to tell you something that happened in 1903 in my home state. Now, in 1903, in a town called Van Meter, Iowa, on the west coast of Iowa, there is a monster that they called that maybe, just maybe, movies were made from. Now, this monster was a winged creature. It was about 8 feet tall. It was almost looking like a pterodactyl type thing. It had long bat wings. It had just horns, a weird face, and the horn from the top of his head had like a light on it that shone bright like a flashlight, or like a miner's hat combination. And it moved so fast, and the blinding light from its horns blinded the townsfolk. Now, you think, oh gosh, that's just a bunch of drunks, from the town that was coming home from the saloon or whatever, and they seen this monster. No. This is from prominent people, and it lasted only 1 week. 1 week that they'd seen this nightly, every single night. Now, can you guess what movie that may have come from? By the end of this story, I will tell you what movie I think they used this monster to make this movie. Now, in 1903, several respected and prominent citizens, men, of Van Meter reported that it was an 8 feet tall, had very powerful odor, like, and moved with speeds never seen before. One horn flying purple people eater, maybe? No. That showered light from its horn. Lived in the abandoned coal mine outside of town, they thought. Now, each time the monster was seen, the town's people, of course, shot at it. Back in the day, they shot at it. Of course, they're going to shoot at a monster that they seen flying through the air. They shot at it and shot at it, but it never seemed to notice, never seemed to get hurt, never seemed to do anything to this monster. So the townsfolk, Peter Dunn, he was a doctor and the banker. He was the first one to see him. He was locking up the bank that night, and he said he had a dead eye on this guy. Now, dead eye means he had completely like a sniper type, rifle type thing that no way he could have missed. He tried to shoot this monster, and it just jumped from one top of the building to the other building, and he thought maybe it was robbers, robbing his bank. So the next night, O.V. White, another dead eye ringer with a gun, and Sidney Gray all shot at the monster, but it was like it didn't even care. It didn't even, whatever, you measly little pissants, why don't you try to shoot me with something like a cannonball or something, It didn't affect the monster at all. And so it hopped like a kangaroo, they said. It hopped like a kangaroo from rooftop to rooftop. Now, like I said, these weren't men who were drunk. These were prominent men. One was a doctor, one was a well-known storekeeper. The other one was a well-known marksman, like the law. Well, of course, the townspeople were getting scared to death. More people were reporting this, each night that week happened. And so the townsfolk, of course, gathered up a posse. They gathered up the posse and with J.L. Platt Jr., Peter Dunn, Sidney Gregg, and O.V. White all went out to this place where J.L. Platt Jr. had heard some weird noises. Now, of course, this was an abandoned coal mine, and it was deep into the ground. Well, the coal mine, it was northeast side of Van Meter, over by the old brickyard, they said. And this is where another town person, of course, said they heard it. Standing there, the men heard the noise open up again as though Satan itself was screaming loud as it could be. The monster appeared along with the smaller one. Now, this could mean that it was a mama, and you don't mess with mamas. Of course you don't mess with mamas. You don't mess with a mama bear. You don't mess with a mama, because mamas can get mean. The men shot, but the two monsters flew away as fast as they came out of the cave, and only to return in the morning. Now, all night long, these four men spent the night there at the mouth of the cave, and they were like waiting for these two monsters to come back. Now, we can only imagine what they were thinking. Like, they probably soiled themselves for sure, and seeing something come flying out of the cave like that, and it freaked, it would freak anybody out to see that. So, in the morning, the two monsters did return. And, of course, another round of firing went upon them, but they didn't seem to care again. They just shot right past the men, flew right up over the head of them, and back down into the cavern or in the cave. And, of course, the men were like, oh, we're just going to blow up this opening to this cave, right? Okay, this coal mine shaft. So they did that. They blew down the cave mine shaft and made it all crumble and closed it up and sealed it up real good so these monsters couldn't get back out. Well, the week ended and they didn't show up again. But legend has it that they descended down into the old mine shaft again, never to be seen again. Now, I'm sure the townsfolk, like I said, quickly closed that up. And, but there's an abandoned brick building at the end of this field that they had found the old abandoned coal mine chute, or coal mine. And, they say that that's the new opening to this place, and that's where these animals live. But they only come out every certain amount of, maybe 100 years, maybe to feed, a certain amount of time to feed. Who knows, maybe we will see them again. Maybe they just haven't never been caught because there's so many lights and stuff nowadays, and cities are bigger and everything to where they can't get their food source or whatever in the city, so they have to get it out in the local fields and cattle and stuff. So, yeah. Now, is the story real? A lot of people believe it. I mean, there's pictures, for back in the day, there's pictures and there's tales have been down, and this city is known for their Van Meter monster. And people still come and go to that building and hear weird noises from inside, and is it them freaking themselves out? Maybe, but could it be true? Now, I was sitting here while I was doing research on this and thinking about what kind of monster and everything, and the way it looked and the way they described it. And there was a movie called Jeepers Creepers, and it was set in a rural town where these people met upon a creature who seemed unfazed by their gunshots, unfazed by everything. It had long black bat wings. It had, you know, human type features. It had things, or it could have been, like I said, Jeepers Creepers. Maybe that was based on this. Children of the Corn was done in Iowa. So was the, I can't think of it. There was an old scary movie, and it was done in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And I'm at loss right now, but I know if sooner or later I'll figure it out. But a lot of movies, scary movies, are based on a little bit of truth and myth and legend. Now, like I said, I think that maybe that Jeepers Creepers, that was based on something like this. I also think that a lot of people think that this monster, I know it sounds weird, but lonely coal miner, you know, having sex with a bat, or a bat having sex with a coal miner, or eating some kind of weird stuff, who knows, and it converted, or it could be aliens, that could be just my theory, you know, it could have been an alien creature, or a pterodactyl that adapted with alien features, that had the shining bright light from the horn, or it could have been a big giant bird, or a bat, or a monster that had a lantern from the coal mine on its head. That's where the shining bright light came from. Granted, these people only seen this for a week. So why was it only out for a week? Was it that was their feeding time, where they came out and fed for that week, and then they went back into hibernation for a certain amount of time? Could have been a vampire where they slept for hundreds of years, and then they came out, you know, in the next century. Maybe. We'll never know, I guess, until we meet. Hopefully we never come across this creature, but until we meet him. So, you can still, like I said, you can still come and see this building and the empty coal mines that are there in this area. This monster was featured in Monsters and Mysteries on the Travel Channel, and if you like it and like more information, you can go there and see it. Please like and subscribe to this channel if you like this kind of content. May you share some kindness and shine your beacon of light for those in the dark. Peace.